Coming up next on News 8 at 5, cash all over the I-5 in Carlsbad. So what happens if you take some and keep it? A legal expert explains the trouble you could face.
And it's finally finished. Starting today, you can now take the trolley into La Jolla. We'll talk about some of the first-time extensions on this ride.
And looking for that perfect holiday gift? How about a new car made completely out of Legos? The news starts right now.
This is News 8 at 5.
And we are beginning tonight with a weather alert. Dry, windy conditions sweeping through the county, definitely elevating our fire danger. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Steve Price.
And I'm Kirsten Holmes. There's a red flag warning just to the north of us, but we can still feel the effects of it. Let's bring in meteorologist Sean Stiles right now with a first look at that microclimate forecast. Hey, Sean.
Kirsten and Steve, it has been a very warm one, and as the day has gone on, it's just got warmer and warmer until this afternoon, where we saw temperatures really jump up. Our high today has already hit 80 degrees, and I wouldn't be surprised by the time we get to 6 o'clock, we see some warmer temperatures. Now, as you said, here in San Diego, we do not currently have any watches, warnings, or any advisories at all. However, the winds have been strong. It's to the north of us, though, where they have a fire weather warning. Now, you say, what is that? Well, it's a combination of when temperatures are elevated, winds and humidities all come together to create this fire weather warning. So you can see throughout Los Angeles, Orange County, and Riverside County, that is what's taking place. But just because there's a borderline there doesn't mean that those dangerous conditions are making their way into San Diego. In fact, look at these winds. They're incredibly high, gusts up to almost 60 miles per hour in Sill Hill. And this is what we're continuing to see, those winds blowing offshore. They will stay that way, and there are the humidities bone dry here in San Diego, in the teens throughout the inland microclimates. Tomorrow, another hot one, 81, then we cool down. And as far as the inland microclimates, 85, and those humidities and winds will persist through the overnight into tomorrow. I'll have your complete forecast, including Thanksgiving, in just a bit.
We're also monitoring some breaking news out of Wisconsin, where at least one person is dead, 20 more injured after an SUV plowed into a Christmas parade.
This happened in Waukesha. That's a suburb of Milwaukee. This is video of that red SUV. You can see it speeding right along the street where a marching band and flat corps are walking, and it's just feet from families watching the parade on the sidewalk. Police say the suspect's vehicle has been recovered and there is a person of interest, but so far they haven't said whether that person is in custody. This is still a developing story. Stay with us on air and online for updates.
Well, it is still a scene that is hard to believe. Traffic was stopped I-5 in Carlsbad Friday because there were thousands of dollars in cash scattered all across the road. Yeah, this video has made the rounds on social media. This all happened after the doors popped open on an armored truck that was heading to the Federal Reserve. Some people thought taking the money was fair game, but as News 8's Ariana Cohen reports, it's actually illegal.
A lot of questions surrounding this crazy story. Is it finders keepers, or could you face criminal charges if you grabbed money off the freeway? I found answers from a local attorney. Cash was flying all over 5 North Friday morning near Cannon Road exit after it spilled out of this armored truck, causing chaos. Many drivers made a mad dash for cash, thinking it's finders keepers.
This is not a situation where it's finders keepers, losers weepers. You know, the money was not lost and it's not unclaimed. You know, it's pretty much if you're walking behind someone and they drop their wallet and then you picked it up. It's not your wallet, it's still his wallet.
San Diego criminal and civil attorney Brian Watkins says many people were caught on camera grabbing cash, while some even posted themselves on social media.
Well, be careful if you are in fact going to keep it and brag about it on social media. They could come looking for you.
The California Highway Patrol says the money belongs to the FDIC. They are teamed up with the FBI, releasing these pictures of faces and license plates to identify who stole money.
Anybody who keeps the money is in fact breaking the law. It's called theft. It's stealing. It would be a felony if you took over $950. If you took under $950, it would be a misdemeanor.
If you have money and return it, you won't be prosecuted at all. But if you don't and you get caught, it's a different story.
They could take it and throw it in the air. There's no law against that. But taking the money and keeping it, yeah, It's not finders, keepers, losers, weepers. They'll be the one weeping.
Attorney Brian Watkins also says the driver of the armored vehicle won't face any criminal charges unless they can prove that the driver did this on purpose. It's negligence, not a crime. CHP are also encouraging the public to still turn in money to avoid potential criminal charges. I'm Ariana Cohen for News 8.
Ariana, thanks. Fire investigators still trying to figure out what started a fatal fire last night in the Talmadge area. It was reported just before 9 on Altadena Avenue. The front of the home was on fire when firefighters arrived. And while putting out the flames, they discovered the body of a man inside the home. That victim's name and age have not yet been released.
Today in Balboa Park, there was a march to raise awareness about the dangers of vaping for teens and young adults. 21-year-old Janan Moen says vaping nearly cost him his life. When he was hospitalized with EVALI, or vaping-associated lung disease, he spent 2 weeks in a medically induced coma fighting to breathe with a ventilator. He's now made it his mission to warn others before it's too late.
It's addictive. It's just another way for big tobacco to addict another generation of users. So that's why it's very important for us to stand strong on this topic and ensure that our children don't become hooked to these products.
As of last year, the CDC reported nearly 3,000 cases of EVALI nationwide, 68 of which were deadly. 3 days and 60 miles are in the books. There are some sore feet, but tons of smiles at the Susan G. Komen 3-day.
The Sea of Pink came together in the fight against breast cancer, making their way from Del Mar to the finish line at Waterfront Park. News 8's Dana Marie McNichol has more on this final day.
As walkers take their last steps across the finish line, there is no shortage of love and support here. They are celebrating 60 miles over the last 3 days. Many are walking in memory of a loved one. Others are survivors themselves, and some are even currently battling cancer.
Today's a very emotional day.
While Amy Birch completes the final miles, her support system is ready to shower her with love. L'Oreal Lopez says this marks the end of a long journey for her friend. Today, Amy finished 60 miles and last month finished treatment for breast cancer.
It's been a tough year, but through all of her treatments, she's made it. She's officially a survivor.
L'Oreal and Amy work together as nurses at Sharp Vista Mesa.
I wear pink for my mom.
5-year-old Kaylani can't sit still in anticipation of surprising her mom.
I think she had 11 miles left. She said her hips and her feet were hurting. She asked us to pack the ibuprofen, so we're ready for her.
As 2,300 walkers make their way across the finish line, smiles, hugs, and tears are shared between family and friends.
We lost our mom to this disease, and this was the most healing thing we've ever done. So it's awesome.
Put you back in the fight.
Missy Flanagan and Mary Drummond came from Texas with a large team.
We're sore. We're hurting pretty bad right now.
On blisters.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Does not compare to losing your hair, chemo, radiation surgery.
Very tough 3 days, but we're happy we did it. We woke up this morning not sure we'd get through it, but we did.
The reunions were special. Participants were greeted by a community celebrating this accomplishment, and one little girl whose hero fought the biggest fight of all.
Look at that. What a greeting party you have.
Hi. You happy to see me? Next time you can do it.